Good morning, one and all. Today we are going to discuss about the importance of a voltage control and method of voltage control. Okay, this is the unit 6. Okay, unit name is voltage control. Okay, now I'm starting the unit 6. Unit name is voltage control, and in this unit we are discuss about the importance of a voltage control and methods of a voltage control. What is the importance for controlling the voltage and what are the methods for controlling that voltage? Okay, that all will be discussed in the present class. Okay, first coming to the introduction for that voltage control, the transmission of power from generating station to the consumers. Okay, if the power is transmitted from generating station to the consumers, okay, therefore we transmit the power. Okay, in that case, the constant voltage for satisfactory operation. Okay, for whole the transmission line, the constant voltage is obtained. Okay, that is very satisfactory operation. Okay, therefore, the variation causes unpredictable operations are the malfunctioning. Okay, if the voltage variations are there, therefore unpredicted operations and the malfunctionings are to be obtained when the changing the power from the transmission generating station to the this consumer end. In this case, if any voltages are to be changes, that will be unpredictable operation or the malfunctionings. Next, what are the causes is the changes in the load at the supply side. If any changes that will be obtained on the load side, or when the load increases or the voltage is decreases due to increases in the voltage drop in alternator, synchronous impedance and transmission impedance and transfer impedance and feeders and the distributors. Okay, if any load increases or voltage decreases due to the voltage drop in the alternator, synchronous impedance and transmission impedance and transformer impedance and feeders or disturbances or distributors. Okay, in that case the voltage drops are to be increased. Okay, therefore the prescribable limits for that voltages variations are the plus or minus 6% of declared voltages. Okay, this is the plus or minus 6% of the declared voltages. Therefore, these voltage regulating devices at suitable places are we are placing that voltage regulators. Okay, this is the basic introduction. And what is the importance of a voltage control? Why? Because we will control that voltage. First one is the lightning loads, that is the lamp characteristics very sensitive to change in the voltages. Okay, therefore the lamp characteristics are very sensitive to change in the voltages. That is the below limit is 25% and above limit is 50%. In illumination power for 20%, in life of the lamp is the 50%. Due to that lightning loads, okay, the lamp characteristics are very sensitive to change in the voltages. Okay, if any changes are obtained in the voltages, the lightning loads are very sensitive. Okay, therefore the lamp characteristics are very sensitive. Okay, the changes are in 25% in the illumination power and 50% for the life of the lamp. Okay, next, induction motors increases in the voltages, therefore the saturation of the poles and high losses and high core losses, that all will be obtained in the case of a induction motors. Okay, if you are reducing the voltages, therefore reduces the starting torque. When reducing the voltages, then reduces the starting torque. Okay, next, distribution transformers. Okay, what are the effects that will be obtained in the case of a distribution transformer? Means due to heating, due to that heating, the rating reduces. The rating is reduces. Okay, these are the various importance voltage controllers in the case of a lightnings, induction motors, and in the case of a distribution transformers. Next, coming to the what are the best locations for we are installing that voltage control equipments. Use at more than the 1 point due to the desirable drop in the transmission and the distribution. Therefore, there is a desirable drop in the distribution and the transmission, and dissimilar load characteristics are obtained. Next, individual means of voltage control for each circuit. Okay, for each circuit, we are requiring that individual mean of voltage control devices. Therefore, these voltage control devices are equipments are placed in the case of a generating stations, transformer stations, feeders if the drop exceed the limits at the feeders. Okay, if the voltage drop is exceed the limit, in that case we are using the voltage control equipment, that is a generating station, transformer station, feeder if the drop is exceed the limits. Okay, these are the various locations of that voltage control equipments. Next, what are the methods we are selecting for that voltage control? Okay, first one is the shunt compensation. Next one is the series compensation. Next one is the synchronous condenser. Next one is the tap changing transformer. Next one is the auto transformer tap changing. Next, booster transformers. Okay, these are the different types of methods that will be used in the case of a voltage control process. Shunt compensation, by using that shunt compensation, the voltage will be controlled, and series compensation, synchronous condensers and tap changing transformers, auto transformer tap changing, and booster transformers. Okay, in that case, first coming to the shunt compensation. How the shunt compensation is done? Okay, in this case, we are using the shunt reactors. Okay, it is used to compensate the effect line capacitance. Okay, by using these shunt reactors, okay, therefore the effective line capacitance is to be compensated. Okay, therefore limit the voltage rise in the open circuit or the light load conditions. In the open circuit or the light load conditions, the voltage rise is limited, and also increases the effective ZC, that means the synchronous reactance. Okay, that means the surge impedance. Okay, therefore surge impedance effect is increases. Okay, where ZC is the surge impedance, that will be increases by using these shunt reactors. By using the shunt reactors, okay, these are the various effects. These are the various effects that will be obtained in the system. Therefore, these reactors are connected directly to the lines at the ends are the tertiary windings. Therefore, easily switched as a wire voltage automatic regulators. Where means the voltage automatic regulators. Okay, these shunt reactors are directly connected to the lines at the ends and also the tertiary windings, that is easily switched as the wire. Okay, in the long lines, okay, if suppose we are considering as the long transmission or the long distribution lines, to overcome the Ferranti effect also, okay, by using these shunt reactors, okay, that will be connected in the case of a long transmission line or in the case of a long distribution lines. Okay, therefore the Ferranti effect is also reduced, and connected to the bus bars with circuit breakers for the switching, and these are to be connected to the bus bars with circuit breakers for the switching process. Okay, these are the various shunt reactors. Okay, next coming to the shunt capacitors. Okay, therefore supply leading reactive power and boost the voltage as loading of the current reduces. Okay, when we are connecting the shunt capacitors, therefore it supplies the reactive power. Therefore, it supplies the reactive power and boost the voltage as a loading of current and boosts the voltages. Next, coming to the switching substations. Okay, that is the inductive loads and absorbs the inductive current of low power factors. Okay, when we are using the switching substations, okay, we are using the shunt capacitors. Therefore, the inductive loads and absorbs the inductive currents for that low power factors. Okay, these shunt capacitors are to be connected in the HV buses or territory winding of a transformers. Okay, these are to be connected in the HV buses or the territory winding of a transformers. Okay, next, what are the basic advantages when we are connecting that shunt capacitors? Okay, that is the low cost and flexibility of the installation. Okay, when we are installing that shunt capacitors, it is very flexible and economically it is better. Okay, what are the basic disadvantages? Means the Q means the reactive power is proportional to the square of the voltages. Therefore, output is reduces when we are using these shunt capacitors. Therefore, the output is reduced when we are using the shunt capacitors. Okay, next, coming to the series compensation. Okay, in that series compensation, that will be obtained by using the series capacitors. Okay, therefore the series compensation is obtained by the usage of series capacitors. Okay, that is connected in series with the line. Okay, therefore the series capacitors are to be connected in series with the line and also use it to reduce the inductive reactance of a line. Therefore, the inductive reactance of the line is also reduced by using this series capacitor. So, reduce the I square X losses. Therefore, reducing the I square X losses and characteristics impedance ZC. Okay, that means the surge impedance that is also reduces. Therefore, the reactive power produced increases with the increasing the power transformer. Okay, therefore, by using the series capacitor, the reactive power produces is also increases, and then the power transmission capacity is increases. Next, what are the applications when we are using the series capacitor? Means improves the power transfer capacity and also the voltage regulation. Okay, by improves the power transfer capacity and also the voltage regulation process. Okay, these are the various applications when we are using that series compensation. Okay, clear, ma? By using the shunt capacitors, okay, we are obtaining the improving the power transmission capacity and also the voltage regulations, and surge impedance is also reduces, and copper losses is also reduces by using the series compensation. Next, what is the series reactors? Okay, by using that series reactor, we are limiting the switching surges. Okay, by using the series reactors, okay, we are limiting that switching surges. Next, last one is the synchronous condensers. Okay, therefore, what is meant by the synchronous condenser? The synchronous machine is running without a prime mover or a mechanical loads. Okay, if the synchronous machine is running without a prime mover or a mechanical loads. Okay, therefore, the synchronous machine is operated without the prime mover or the mechanical loads, then it is called as the synchronous condenser. Then it is called as the synchronous condensers. Okay, therefore, depending upon the field excitation, okay, depending upon the excitation of the field winding, it can be either absorbed or the generator the where means the voltage automatic regulators. Okay, therefore, depending upon that excitation, okay, it can either absorb or generate the voltage automatic regulators. Okay, with a voltage regulators, okay, by using that voltage regulators, it can automatically adjust the waves. Waves means the voltage automatic regulators. Okay, therefore, with the voltage regulator, It can automatically adjusted by using the VATs to maintain the voltage constants. Okay, by using the VATs, we maintain the voltage constants. And started as an induction motor and then synchronized. Okay, therefore, these are normally connected to the tertiary windings of the transformers. Therefore, these synchronous condensers are normally connected to the tertiary windings of the synchronous transformers. Therefore, unlike the, as we say, synchronous condenser has an internal voltages. Okay, therefore this condenser has the internal voltages. Okay, therefore the speed of response not as fast as that of a SVCs, that is the synchronous static voltage controls. Okay, this when we are using the synchronous condenser, the static voltage controllers have the fast response. Okay, next type is the tap changing transformer. How the tap changing transformer plays an how this tap changing transformer is plays an important role in the case of a voltage regulator. Means this is the tap changing transformer, this is the primary winding and this is the secondary winding. Okay, when we are giving the supply to that primary winding, therefore in the secondary winding we are giving the number of tappings. Okay, when we are observing, this is the tapping 1, tapping 2 and tapping 3 and this is the tapping 4, and this is the movable arm. Okay, this is the movable arm. Okay, therefore by using the tap changing transformer, how the voltage that will be controlled means the first half load tap changing transformer. Okay, we are having the two types of tap changing transformers. Okay, that is the half load tap changing transformer and second one is the on load tap changing transformer. Okay, therefore the off load tap changing transformer, the position of the tap and the number of turns and the output voltages are the first. Okay, we are called it is the struts. This is the strut 1, strut 2, strut 3 and the strut 4 up to strut 5. Okay, therefore when the movable arm is there in the strut 1, that means the minimum value of the tap changes. Okay, therefore if the movable arm is placed in that strut 5, therefore the maximum value of voltages that will be obtained by using these tap changing transformers. Okay, therefore at light loads, the primary voltages and the alternator voltages and movable arms are placed at the struts. Okay, therefore the loads is also increases, drops is also increases, so the moving of that struts. Okay, when the loads are to be increases and the voltage drops is also increases. Okay, in this case we are moving the struts. Okay, by moving the struts from the first strut to the up to fifth strut, okay, we are controlling or we are regulating that voltage levels by using these tap changing transformers. Okay, this will be obtained for the on load tap changing transformer and also the off load tap changing transformer. Okay, on load tap, off load tap changing transformer means that when the tappings are to be changes, okay, with for disconnecting that supply only. Okay, in the for on load tap changing transformer, okay, there is no discontinuity of the supply, then automatically the tappings are to be changes that will be depending upon the control of that voltage regulations. Okay, that will be depending upon the control of the voltage regulations, the tappings that already automatically changes. Okay, first of all, what is the on load tap changing transformer? Okay, it is widely used so interruptions of the supply voltages. Okay, therefore it is very widely used, so no interruptions of the supply voltages. Okay, there is no interruptions of the supply voltages. That means in the if the supply is in the on position, in that case only the tappings are to be changes. There is no disturbances of the supply. Okay, therefore the secondary is divided into the two parallel paths. Therefore the current is to be divided. Okay, in the previous case, this is the primary winding and this is the secondary winding. In that secondary winding, we are connecting the number of tappings. Okay, therefore in this case, the supply will be disturbed. Okay, but In the on-load tap changing, this secondary winding is divided into the two parallel paths. Okay, this is the parallel path 1 and this is the parallel path 2. Okay, in the both the parallel paths, we are connecting the different types of tappings. Okay, that is 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A and the 5A. And we are observing on the other side of that parallel path, that is the 1B, 2B, 3B, 4B and the 5B. And we are connecting the switch like that, that is the A and the B. Okay, therefore, these tappings are to be changed automatically when the supply is in the running condition. How these tappings are to be changed? Suppose the stud will be, the movable arm is placed at that point A, therefore 1A that will be closed. Okay, in that case, okay, when we are changing the position from the 1 to 3A, therefore in that case this switch will be operated and then the tap changing operation is to be done in the on position. Okay, therefore therefore there is no interruptions of the supply by using this on-load tap changing transformers. Okay, by using these transformers we easily control the voltage regulation. Okay, clear ma? By using this transformer, we easily control the voltage regulations. Next, coming to the disadvantages. Okay, what are the disadvantages that will be obtained when we are using this type of voltage control method? Is the voltage surges due to the high voltage drops. Okay, due to the high voltage drops, the voltage surges are to be obtained. Okay, therefore, due to the high voltage surges, therefore high voltage drops that will be obtained. And the number of tappings is equal to the 2 into the voltage steps. Okay, next type of voltage control equipment is the auto transformer. Okay, clear? Next type of voltage regulating method is the auto transformer. Okay, this is the design for that auto transformer. This is the primary winding and this is the secondary winding. Okay, in that secondary winding, we are connecting the tapping switches. Okay, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the short circuiting switch and this is the auto transformer or the reactor. Okay, this is the auto transformer or the reactor. The mid-tapped auto transformer is used. Okay, this is the mid-tapped auto transformer. Okay, this is connected with one side of the line. Okay, this mid-tapped auto transformer is connected with one side of the line and is divided into the two parts. Okay, therefore, and it will be divided into the two parts. And the odd switches and the even switches, okay, that will be connected to this other side. And the normal operation conditions, therefore, no drops will be obtained. Okay, and the tap changing is the high drop conditions. Okay, when the tappings are to be changed means when more voltage drops that will be obtained in the system or the network. In that case, only this auto transformer changes their tappings. Okay, therefore, the large circulating currents are flowing in that case, controlled by the reactors. Suppose if the large circulating currents, that will be flows through this circuit, then the reactor is to be controlled. Okay, in that situation, the reactors are to be controlled. If any large circulating currents are flows in the circuit, then this reactor is to be controlled. Next one is the booster transformer. Okay, what is meant by the booster transformer? Okay, this is the diagram for that booster transformer. It is also called as the banking or boosting the voltages. Okay, by using this booster transformer, okay, we are banking or boosting the voltage levels. Okay, therefore, the secondary injects the voltages in phase with the line voltages. Okay, this is the main transformer. And this is the regulating transformer. Okay, in that case, this is the primary and this is the secondary. and this is the primary and this is the secondary. In that secondary, we are connecting the number of tappings. Okay, therefore, the secondary injects the voltage in phase with the line voltage, then small output and low voltages. Therefore, the auto transformer is used as the regulating transformer. Okay, therefore, this auto transformer is used for that regulating the transformers, and large size and high voltages on load tap changing transformers are used. For in the high voltage controls and the large size missions, okay, we are using the on load tap changing auto transformers. Next, what are the major disadvantages in the case of that booster transformer means okay, therefore we are requiring the more space when compared to the other type of methods. Okay, therefore the large core area is required and expensive and less efficiency, expensive and also the less efficiency. Okay, these are the various methods. These are the various methods for using that voltage control process. Okay, that is the shunt compensation method, series compensation method, synchronous condenser method, and also the tap changing transformers, auto transformers, and booster transformers. Okay, by using these following methods, we easily control the voltages. Okay, clear? We easily control the voltages. Therefore, that will be used in the case of a transmission systems or in the case of a distribution systems. And these are the various locations where the voltage control equipments are to be installed in the systems. That is the generating stations, transmission stations, and the at the feeder lines. Okay, by using these feeder lines, the drops is to be limited. And these are the what are the importance for that voltage controllers. Okay, therefore the lightning loads, it is more sensitive for that voltage controllers and induction motors and distribution transformers. Okay, we are using that different types of voltage control methods for in the case of a different applications. Okay, clear? Okay, we continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.